Hello and welcome to another week of the Capsule. Now, you may be asking yourself, did I just do 5 minutes of the Capsule and then realize that I wasn't recording? Yes, is the answer to that question, if you were wondering. So we're starting again, and it's all good, but not really again because this is the first recording that you will hear. So as far as you know, everything is going swimmingly. Hi. What's up? Hope everyone had a good week. I'm getting a lot of people messaging me or speaking to me in real life and saying that they listen to the podcast. And I don't know if they mean the interviews or this. Maybe no one's listening to this. But I know people are following the Capsule and checking out what's happening and stuff. So I super appreciate that. We've gained a lot of new followers and I think that that's dope. And I really appreciate it and hope we can keep growing. And hope that I can kind of continue to do more and more and elevate the platform. So thank you everyone for tuning in and getting involved with all the posts and stuff. So what happened this week? Not loads of stuff, to be completely honest with you. Ivan Blackstock had his new film premiered on Channel 4, which is dope and big. So shout out to Ivan, he's dope, and yeah, that's really cool. You can check out on his social media like all the details of the film and where to find it now. But yeah, that's cool. What else? There was Dance to Connect festival in Leeds, which Silk Boogie won. He won the experimental and beat Leah Garner to do so. I know Silk will be happy to get a winner's shout out on the Capsule because he's had 2 runners up now. And finally we can say Silk Boogie did great and he did win. So that's cool. And Kane was there and won the All Styles. I said this on the Capsule, but I think that that's dope because I've seen him at a lot of battles and I think he's from London, so he got himself to Leeds as well. Yeah, I know what it's like to try and get to all the battles and hustle, and when you finally get that win, it feels good. So shout out to Kane, good job, and keep up the hustle, man. What else? I guess the main 2 things, well, one of them is the WDSF qualifier, which I will come on to, but first of all, Brooke said locking was dead and everybody got pissed. No, they didn't, but kind of. They didn't, but kind of. So Brooke put up an Insta story saying, and I quote, because I'm reading it, they said locking was dead in the UK, ... and they were right. And then a little emoji that is him running away. Whoop. But did he run away? No, because Brooke had time for this conversation. So we posted it, and there was quite the commentary going on. I'm going to attempt to kind of give it a really brief breakdown. If you haven't seen the post or the comments, go and check it out because it's still up and you can still read through everything. And I think it's important to see everybody's comments in their original context because I am not going to do this entire conversation justice. I will kind of give you my opinions on it. So, I think the main thing is that different people have different opinions on what it means for a style to be alive. So, what happened was basically Brooke was saying that locking in the UK is dead as a style, as a community. He didn't really specify. He just said the style locking is dead, right? And the pushback from some people was that how can it be dead because I do it, or how can it be dead because I teach it? Your Darko, I think his name is Your Darko. He was quite adamant that it was not dead. His reasoning being because he does it. He teaches it. He has a crew of, I guess, younger or less experienced students that do it. He said he was judging competitions where he saw people doing it and they were enjoying it. Other people had a similar kind of opinion as him. And I guess in their mind, how can something be dead? It's like and I think the way the perspective they were coming at it from was like an animal being extinct, right? Like, it's not extinct until we know there's none left. If there's 2 pandas left, pandas aren't extinct. There's still hope, you know? Those 2 pandas can get it on and make a new panda. Now there's 3 pandas and we're on a roll. So I think that's kind of how they're seeing lock-in, as like the pandas in captivity. But like the idea being, or the kind of thing that they were saying was like, there's people still enjoying it, so the style isn't dead, right? That's the very simplified version. The pushback from Brooke, Sean, Calvin, Flexi Stu, Renegade, quite a few other people, is that the community isn't thriving, I think. And again, I'm paraphrasing, correct me if I'm wrong. Is that the community isn't thriving in the same way that the other styles are. That there's not regular events, whether that be battles and competition, which both sides of the argument acknowledge is an important part, but also parties, jams, ciphers, training sessions, stuff like that, right? I'm not gonna. I was gonna kind of try and explain everything that was said on both sides, but please go read the post, because, like I said, it will do it more justice than me trying to explain what everybody's point was and getting it wrong. One of the big pushbacks to your side, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, but he was saying a lot about classes, right? And what people were saying is that the classes are where you go to learn the style, and then you take it and do it elsewhere. But if it's not being done elsewhere, you're just teaching it to people to then, for what reason, right? And I think his pushback was for the reason of them enjoying it and having fun in class. And I think class in the UK it's a kind of culture and a space in its own, you know? Like, people go to class as like a hobby. That's their thing. They enjoy being at class. It's not, I don't think it is anymore a place where you just go to learn stuff for like pragmatic reasons. Like, I need to get better at this, so I'm going to go to this class and pick up my pickup rate, or I'm going to learn some more house, or I'm going to learn some locking. It might be also, but I think in addition to that, it's now a kind of almost a community in itself, like people that go to class and enjoy it and see other people and learn choreographers' routines just for the fun of it. Even if you are a professional, you know. So I think I can kind of see both sides in a way that, like, this is kind of the new application of that style, I guess. I also very much see Brooke and his side of the story, because if you look at the other styles, you very much see a thriving community, right? If you look at breaking, if you look at popping, if you look at hip-hop, house, whacking, vogue, even you know, whacking I think is a smaller community in the UK than some of the others, but it's still there, you know. You still see events with, like, let's take breaking, for example, right? You still see a big range of shit. You still see like local breaking classes. You still see little jams and fun jams that are not like a big prize money or high level. It's just for fun. You still see like little cypher sessions. You still see people kind of talking about the style and the dancers, and all the way up until the Sunny and Karam level, you know, top competitive level in the country stuff. You have crews, you have competitions, you have all sorts of shit, right? Similar with popping and stuff like that. And also bear in mind, our whole entire community has been knocked back because of the whole year of the pandemic. So we're just getting back into events. So it's possible that locking could make a resurgence. I don't know. I think I think I really get what Brooke is saying. Like, his definition of the style being dead is that there's not a thriving community. He even admitted he doesn't think there's no one doing the style, right? So yeah, I think that's all the argument or the debate boils down to, is that they have different definitions on what it means for a style to be dead. I would say I agree with Brooke, like with his definition of it. I get, yes, that there's still people doing the style. I think, how many lockers are there in the country? And people that do locking, I think these styles all come from a community setting. Now, we are not in the same place as when they were invented. Look at breaking, we're not in New York in wherever, the 80s or whatever. There's no gangs or crews or stuff like that. But the community of the style, the competitive nature, the kind of essence of it, that can be argued by breakers. I'm not going to get into that now. But like, there's some sort of community essence with breaking, right? There's people that want to talk about it. There's people that want to exchange, battle, call each other out, whatever. And with locking, I don't know if there's like a community. Yes, there is. Like, there's people, I know for a fact there's people that are lockers in this country, right? Of course. But when people put on events, like let's say a battle, and nobody shows up for locking category, or the level is low, it's going to start to get removed from those competitions, which it has. I don't know if there's any locking jams, or if there's any clubs that play this type of music. I think that's the other thing, right? Say with house dance, there are clubs that play house music. There are parties. There are normal people that enjoy going out to a club and listening to house music. The dance is inspired by the music. So house dance will continue to be a thing for dancers and for normal people. Like that guy that I don't even know the guy's name, the actor that died from The Wire. What was his name? Michael? No, that's not him anyway. What is his name? I'm going to look it up now. Michael K. Williams. Like, even he did some house and stuff like that, and like, I don't think he was a professional dancer, but he enjoyed the music and the culture. So there's a culture surrounding house dance that comes from the music still being an active part of that culture. I think my opinion is that the locking music is not really an active part of the culture. It's enjoyed as a like retro kind of thing, or like a throwback, or oh, my dad used to listen to this or whatever. Some people do enjoy the music, of course, but there's no current version of that. Maybe like, I don't know, Bruno Mars is the closest to like pop music thing that has been tried to people that have tried to replicate that sound. Like, I don't know if there's anyone else. There's people like Anderson .Paak and stuff who have a certain type of funky music. I'm no music expert, so don't cuss me if I'm wrong, but I'm just speaking off the top of my head. Like, there's not really like a current version of that sound. So yes, you can do locking to other types of music, but the thing that makes up locking music isn't in that type of music. So yes, you can do a locking routine to Busta Rhymes, or you can do a locking routine to Pop Smoke. Cool. But in popping, there's a strong snare and a certain type of rhythm. That happens in a lot of songs. So we can kind of replicate that feeling on newer songs. Hip hop, of course, you have that bounce that was in boom bap, and it's changed since the style was created, but it's still in some way, even in like the super new, like whatever, like trap stuff, Migos. If you listen to the Migos new album, like there's a bounce in it. So you can do hip hop on that if you wanted to. Same with house. You've got house music that is kind of being played and enjoyed now. So I think this is the biggest problem for me is with locking, is it's hard to keep something alive and keep the culture and the community surrounding it if we're not getting together to enjoy the music, because that's what most dance shit is centered around. is we're there to enjoy the music and dance to it. Yes, we want to compete. Yes, we want to exchange. Yes, we want to cipher. Yes, we want to battle. Yes, we want to do all the social dances and blah, blah, blah. But we're dancing to the music. In hip-hop culture and in street dance culture, the music is what inspires us. Yes, in contemporary, it's almost separate, or ballet, it's almost separate. The music doesn't have to be playing while you dance. You can dance in silence. There's a lot of great pieces that aren't like on the music. However, hip-hop dances, the hip-hop cultural dances, are very much inspired by the music. So if the music is not inspiring us to get together, the style is not going to thrive, right? This is my opinion on the lock-in thing. I don't know worldwide what the deal is. I don't know if there's new music being produced and I'm ignorant to it, maybe. But I think the main thing is that no one is going, yo, let's all go to a jam and just play some sick lock-in music. It's like, let's go to a jam and lock, but we'll put on all sorts of whatever music we happen to like at the time, you know? Like, there's poppers that love popping music, like, especially the, like, Mofak and the people that are making current poppy music. There's poppers that love that shit. There's hip-hop dancers that love hip-hop beats, you know? Same with house dancers or whatever. I keep using the same three examples, but I think this is the thing with a style being dead in air quotes. It's like we have to figure out what it is, because as soon as you try and force a culture to be, I don't think it's a culture anymore. A culture indicates a naturally occurring, I don't know what the actual definition of culture is, but it implies a natural kind of gathering of people, right? So I think if we try and force people to, like, more of us need to do locking and we all need to get together and do locking, it's like, well, okay, well, now we're not. I mean, this is a wider conversation for the whole dance culture or whatever, and again, maybe people are going to cuss me out, but it's like, I think it's just about, you can't force people to do a style or keep a style alive. It has to come naturally, and you have to inspire them naturally through the music, through the events, through the people in the scene, you know? Yeah, I mean, I don't think the point is whether or not it's dead. I think everyone was focused on that point of, like, is locking dead? Is locking not dead? Is locking... The bottom line is there's not a lot of people doing locking, I think, worldwide. So there's something that needs to be addressed, or does it need to be addressed? I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe just fuck it. Let's just leave it. But it's like, it doesn't matter whether you think it's dead or not, because even if you think it's alive, you must admit there's not that many lockers, there's not that many events, there's not that many jams. Compared to the other styles, it's the odd one out. For whatever reason, for the reasons of participation, competitive level, people's enjoyment, the audience's enjoyment, it's the odd one out. So there's something to be addressed there if we want to maintain that as part of the culture. Do I have any of the fucking answers? No, I'm just saying this shit because I'm making commentary on it, but it doesn't, yeah, I mean, I don't think it actually matters whether it's dead or not, whether it's officially pronounced dead at the crematorium or whatever, or the morgue. It's like, yeah, at very least needs to go to the hospital. So anyway, that was the whole argument. There's not really an end to it. There's not really a right or wrong answer. It just depends on your definition of what a style being dead is. Anyway, anywho's, yeah, I'm not a locker. I'm not part of the locking community. Shout out to the people that are doing locking and keeping it going and, you know, still practicing it. But there's conversations to be had. And I think it needs to happen between people in the locking community who care about the thing. Because I don't listen to the funk music. I don't really enjoy doing or watching the style of locking. So I'm not the one to be having these conversations. I'll happily host them through the Capsule, so holler at me if you want to set that up. But I think public conversations and debate, and we need to figure, if we want things to move forward, we need to talk about them publicly without cussing each other. I actually think that conversation that they had on the Capsule post was quite civilized. So thank you for everyone that got involved. Shout out to Brooke for making the Insta story, keeping things interesting. Anyway, I'll move on because I always make these too long, and I'm going to try not to. The WDSF qualifier was this weekend. Karam beat Sunny in the finals, and Roxy beat Shortbread Emma in the finals of the B Girl. All four of them qualified to go to Paris. So the WDSF, if you don't know, is the World Dance Sport Federation. They are the ones that are going to be, Manny will cuss me if I get this wrong, in charge of the Olympics, or they're the governing body for the Olympics, I think. Sorry, Manny, if I got this wrong, go to Breaking GB page to get all the details. But basically, this is a GB qualifier for the WDSF World Championships in Paris in December. And it's starting to kind of tally up points for what will eventually become the rankings, I guess. The official rankings. So everything was recorded from the top 16 upwards, I think, and all the points were calculated. So anyone that even got through got points and stuff, and even I think the prelims were ranked, which is super dope. So you could see kind of where you were ranked in the prelims, how well you did even if you didn't get through. Yeah, so as soon as all four of them won their semis to get through to those finals, they knew they were already qualified for Paris. The finals were still dope, and I think it's cool because they battled to see who would be placed and ranked first and second, but they had already kind of won the prize, which is a cool, different way of doing things, you know? It's like, all right, we already have the prize thing that we need, but now let's just see who's better, which is cool, or who's better in the moment, you know? Yeah, it was sick. Karam and Sunny was a sick final. Karam and Sheku was also a sick semi. And yeah, I mean, I think I don't really have too much to say on this. I mean, shit, it went fine. It was a great event. Like, it was an event for a reason, and it knew what it was there to do, and it did the job, and then let us go. So thank you, Breaking GB and Breaking Convention, who put this on, because listen, like, I want to be entertained. I want to enjoy an event. Cool. Sometimes events are too short and they're rushed and shit like that. This event was not supposed to be a big fancy, like, whoa, look at all these showcases we have and look at all this, how we can sell out a whole venue. No, it was about qualifying the best breakers, and the best breakers were there. I think there were, I don't know if maybe there was a few people that couldn't make it or whatever, but you had some fucking good people there, and they qualified the best people on the day. I don't necessarily think I mean, I'm not, who the fuck am I to say this, but like, I don't think I disagree with any of the judging decisions. I think everything was, yeah, the best people on the day won, and won their battles, you know? There was no judge showcases, there was no breaks, there was no excessive talking or whatever. We were making fun of Swifty for talking too much, but he was waiting for a technical difficulty, so we love you, Swifty. But yeah, I mean, the event, it started pretty much when it was supposed to. It ran straight through. Everything was pretty swift. There was a problem with the speaker. I don't know exactly what happened, but it blew out a bit in the Lillian Bayliss, and they got it fixed and got the show back on the road pretty quick, which is all we can ask for. So, yeah, like, I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. I thought the breaking was sick. It was high level. They didn't fuck around. They didn't try and add shit that wasn't necessary. Sometimes we want a long event. Sometimes we want those breaks to cypher. Nobody was, well, audience-wise, we weren't going to jump on the stage and cypher in that event, you know? There was the seats out it was at the Lillian Bayliss in Sadler's, and it's a theatre setup. So they had the seats up, they had the stage, and it was just, just sit back, watch the breakers qualify. Breakers, you're on the stage, you're in competition mode until you're done, and then when you're done, you can go home. There was no like, oh, we got to wait 3 hours because we've programmed 17 fucking showcases, and one of them is a tap dancer for some reason, and now get back, finalists come back after you've just been outside in the cold for 3 hours and now do 7 rounds. Like, fuck all that shit. Like, they did the shit how they were supposed to do. Of course, there's always things that you could do better. There's always things that could be improved on. I think it was their first event as an organization, although Hooch and those guys have run bazillions of events and know what the fuck they're doing. But yeah, man, I can't complain. Like, I like when something knows what it is and does the thing that it is. Like, don't fuck around and waste our time, you know? If you're there to entertain us, entertain the shit out of us. You know, if you're there to qualify the best breakers in the country, qualify the fucking breakers and let's go home, you know? That's what I'll enjoy. I'll enjoy having my evening after I've watched sick breakers for 4 or 5 hours and I don't feel tired. I don't feel overwhelmed. I don't feel, you know, like stressed because it was just people everywhere. Like, yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fucking cool, man. Yeah, there's not so much to say on that, I think. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I would say about the event. It was cool to see Breaking Convention partner with Breaking GB to make this happen. I think that's dope. I think we need more of these like team ups by people in good positions to help each other for the greater good, you know? I don't know, like, you know, Breaking Convention, I don't know what they, you know, what their aims are in terms of, like, you know, that Breaking Convention aren't suddenly going to become a battle organization, but they're in a position to help Breaking GB do something, and Breaking GB were in a position to say, hey, we need your help, or whatever, however it went down, but they accepted the help from Breaking Convention. They worked together, they made something happen that may not have happened by either of them individually. So that's dope, and I think we need more of that. It's like, if other people are in a position, if we can do something for the better of the scene and for the people in it, like, let's just do that shit. That's not to say partner with people who are dickheads or who don't know what they're doing. Please don't do that, because it will be worse than if you did it by yourself. But if you're both dope and know what you're doing and have the resources, I think we need more of that. I think what else? I think that's it, really. Yeah, that's it. What else? No, there's nothing. There's nothing, guys. I'm sorry. I haven't got anything else on that event. It was cool. I enjoyed it. The breakers were all sick. Have a fucking good week, yeah? Bye.